Right friends, welcome back to first capsule of 32nd week. This is from 8th August to 14th August, and in the first capsule we are going to discuss on important cabinet decisions. The first cabinet decision is with regard to the amendments to Maternity Benefit Act of 1961, and cabinet approved recently the amendments, and it is a good news for women employees, and the paid leave for expectant mothers increased from around 3 months to 6.5 months. To be specific, it is increased from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Second important aspect is for the women whoever are adopting a baby, and not only that, whoever are having babies through surrogacy. And you may ask, what is meant by surrogacy? Surrogacy is the process where the pregnancy will be carried by some other woman for the intended parents. So, in case of surrogacy as well as in case of adoption, the maternity leave will be 12 weeks. And another important aspect is these will be applicable for all the establishments employing 10 or more persons, and at the same time for the organizations or establishments engaging 50 or more employees, it is mandatory to provide crèche. Please look into this slide. This is example of crèche, and for the organizations employing 50 or more employees, provision of crèche is mandatory. So, good news for women employees, and with these amendments almost 1.8 million women employees will be benefited, and the leave of 26 weeks will be applicable for 2 children only. Please don't forget. Union Cabinet approved amendments to the Factories Act of 1948. The amendments pertain to the maximum limit of overtime hours. In one type of establishments, the maximum overtime per each quarter at present is 50 hours. It is proposed to be increased to 100 hours. And in other class of establishments, the present overtime hours are 75 hours, and they are proposed to be increased to 125 hours per quarter. So, in one type of establishment, they are increased from 50 hours to 100 hours, and in some other type of establishment, they are increased from 75 hours to 125 hours. And the government says they are within the stipulated limit of 144 hours of overtime, which can be allowed as per International Labour Organization. And please don't forget, International Labour Organization is Geneva based. Right? And what is the main aim of the government in increasing these overtime hours? Government says they will give boost to the manufacturing sector, they will facilitate ease of doing business, and at the same time they will enhance employment opportunities. So, these are the points stated by the government before clearing these amendments to Factories Act of 1948. Look at the next one, ex post facto approval. You may ask, what is meant by ex post facto approval? Ex post facto approval is giving approval which will have the retrospective effect of its implementation. Retrospective means from the back date. Prospective means from now onwards. So, ex post facto approval meaning is the approval will come into force from retrospective date, that means from the back date on which this legislation or MOU was signed, right? So, when cabinet is approving certain decisions with ex post facto approval, that means they will come into force with the retrospective effect, please don't forget. And it gave approval to amendments to section 44 of Lokpal and Lokayukta Act of 2013. And basically this is to address concerns and apprehensions expressed by different categories of public servants. And with regard to the different aspects of this amendments to section 44 of Lokpal and Lokayukta's Act of 2013, we are going to deliberate next week, so I am skipping the details here. Look into the next one. Cabinet allowed FDI in non-banking financial companies through automatic route. Here, please listen carefully. You may ask, what is meant by NBFCs? Please look into this slide. These are all examples of NBFCs, Manappuram Finance, then Muthoot Group, JM Financial, Bajaj Finserv. These are all examples of non-banking financial companies. And now Cabinet approved FDI in NBFCs through automatic route. And what are the present guidelines? The present guidelines are FDI is allowed through automatic route in 18 specified NBFC activities. Now, the Cabinet decision is with regard to other than these 18 specific NBFC activities. So, as per the Cabinet decision, FDI through automatic route is allowed in other than these 18 specified NBFC activities. Please listen carefully. Already FDI is allowed through automatic route in 18 specified NBFC activities, and now Cabinet decision pertain to the NBFCs other than these 18. So, for the NBFCs other than these 18, now FDI is allowed through automatic route if they are regulated by any financial sector regulators like RBI, SEBI, or by government agency. And you may ask, what is meant by financial sector regulator? Financial sector regulators, please look into this slide. These are financial sector regulators, Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, PFRDA, IRDAI. These are all examples of financial sector regulators, and FDI is allowed through automatic route if they are regulated by financial sector regulators or government agency. If they are not regulated by financial sector regulators or government agency, FDI will be through government approval route only. And you may ask a fundamental question, how the FDI comes? There are two routes, one is automatic route, the other one is approval route. In automatic route, FDI comes directly into the country subject to the limit. But if it is through government approval route, it is to be cleared by Foreign Investment Promotion Board. Each and every case is required to be cleared by Foreign Investment Promotion Board. And please don't forget, FIPB is under the Ministry of Finance, and overall FDI guidelines are issued by DIPP, which is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. These things are very important. Please don't forget. Right friends, let us move on to the next one. Cabinet decided about a one-time grant of rupees 900 crore spread over 3 years for an R&D project for the development of advanced ultra super critical technology for thermal power plants. And you may ask, what is this ultra super critical technology for thermal power plants? This technology, AUSC technology, will result in reduced coal consumption that in turn will result in lesser carbon dioxide emissions. So, with this advanced ultra supercritical technology, there will be more efficiency in thermal power projects. That means the carbon dioxide emissions will be reduced. This is significant because of the reason power generation from coal contributes to 38% of carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere, right? And now government indigenously wanted to develop this technology, and as per the government's statement, this technology is in experimental stage almost across the world. And now government is trying to develop it indigenously, and for this project a consortium of 3 government agencies are nominated, that is BHEL, NTPC and Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research. These 3 government organizations will undertake the R&D project on advanced ultra supercritical technology, and for this the cabinet has decided to give rupees 900 crore spread over 3 years as grant, and this will be given to BHEL as nodal authority from 2017-18 for 3 years. Look into the next one. ex post facto approval for Memorandum of Understanding between India and South Africa for cooperation in the field of tourism. Please look into this slide. This is South Africa, having coastline of both Indian Ocean as well as Atlantic Ocean. Recently, the Prime Minister visited 4 countries, Mozambique, Tanzania, South Africa and Kenya. And now to increase cooperation in the field of tourism, ex post facto approval was given by the cabinet. And don't forget, in 2015, India received around 52,000 tourists from South Africa, and India already extended the electronic tourist visa facility for South African nationals. The last one is approval for signing and ratification of an agreement between India and Croatia on economic cooperation. Please don't forget, the previous agreement signed in 1994 expired in 2009, and now a fresh agreement will be signed, for which the cabinet has given approval. And please don't forget, the bilateral trade in 2014-15 between India and Croatia was just $205 million, and it is growing at around 17% during the past 3 years. You may ask, where is Croatia? Please look into this slide. Croatia, having a long coastline of Adriatic Sea. It is a European country, part of European Union. And with this, let us conclude this capsule. Please do join for other capsules. Have a nice day. Thank you.